Hey guys, it's Daniel. The following is a clip from my interview with ex-Guns N' Roses guitarist Gilby Clarke. This interview is for my documentary What is Classic Rock? If you want to see the full interview or the full documentary What is Classic Rock, the links are available below. Thanks for watching and make sure to subscribe for more.
For me, more than anything is there are no new bands that can play a stadium. You know, there just are really no new bands that have really kind of just taken it by the nuts and just squeezed, you know. There aren't. When I was a part of Guns N' Roses, with Metallica, we were playing stadiums, you know. I mean, granted, by the end of the 90s, that wasn't possible. You know, that genre just wasn't fashionable anymore. So, you know, do I think that there's a future in hard rock? Absolutely. Is it dead? It's dying. I don't know if it's dead, it's dying. But I really do believe that some new young band out there can change it, can make it a game changer, and can do it. But that's going to take a lot. When I was in high school, and granted we're going back a long ways, and classic rock bands like Zeppelin and all these bands we've talked about, you know, were popular, and I wanted to, you know, be a musician, I wanted to play guitar, and I wanted to be in a band. It was really easy for me to start a band. You know, there were at least 4 or 5 drummers in my high school. There were 10 bass players. There were 20 guitar players, and there were 3 singers. You know, when my daughter, who is now 21 and in college, when she was in high school and she wanted to start a band, she played guitar and she was really into the same music that I grew up with. There was 1 drummer in her high school. There was 1 bass player. There were about 5 to 10 guitar players and 600 singers. In my opinion, the decline of hard rock music is a lot of different factors. I do think it's the fact that hard rock music really isn't at the forefront anymore. It's not selling millions of records like it did in its heyday. Are record executives at fault? That's a little bit of it, but in my opinion, music, rock and roll, anything is really kind of new. You know, we're really only, you know, 30, 40 years into it, you know, from when Elvis really started rock and roll. And it was inevitable that it would get to this point where it gets a little stagnant, you know. It's like there are only 12 notes, you know, so there really is only so much you can do. I mean, now, you know, there's, you know, millions of guitar players all trying to think of that riff, but Smoke on the Water's already been done. Kashmir's already been done. It really is more than anything is there, you know, getting a new, fresh idea, trying to get it out there. So it's a fault of a lot of people why rock, in my opinion, has declined a little bit. You know, are they servicing it? No, but because the audience isn't there. I look at it like my generation, we did our job. You know, we grew up with Led Zeppelin and Kiss and Aerosmith and Alice Cooper as our heroes, and then we did it, and we formed our bands, and the bands were successful, and they, you know, performed, made videos, sold records, did all that. The 90s came along, and they did their job, you know. They made their music, it's popular, it's got its place and time. But once the 2000s came along, you know, things just started to wane a little bit, and it just seems like hard rock is really more of an underground type music now. It's just not at the forefront, you know. I mean, not like I really watch the Grammys or anything, but I don't even know if they have a category anymore for hard rock music. So to me, it really was just inevitable. You know, as music evolves, it kind of devolves a little bit, you know, and that's just the way it is. There's only so many notes. There's only so much we can do. It's only, you know, we can only be so creative to really try and make something new.